Our podcast is called I've Got Something to Tell You, and it's a true crime and paranormal podcast. I do the paranormal.
I do the true crime.
And I'm Tayler. Sorry, I didn't say my name.
I'm Colleen. Sorry, I didn't say my name.
We're new to this. Just kidding.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we've been doing this we've had our podcast for probably over a year now, but we've been doing the live shows for since November of last year.
Mm-hmm.
And we originally started just to build community for people that like weird shit like us.
Yeah.
And so far it's been really fun. So yeah.
Thank you guys for joining in our weird shit.
Yeah. So these usually go about an hour. We try to keep it at an hour, but sometimes it could go a little over, a little less. You don't have to be glued to your seat. If you want to get more coffee, you can go. If you have to go to the bathroom, you can go. We're not going to side-eye you.
We will also say that with the true crime and paranormal, we do giggle. That we are trying to find humor in darkness. And so embrace the giggles, laugh along with us, have some fun, Yeah. We're over-caffeinated and we're just trying to have some fun.
We're over-caffeinated. We're nervous. We're flustered because of the projector. I'm just kidding. We're excited, though. Do we have anything else?
No. We do at the end ask if anybody has stories that they want to share with us. So please pay attention to our stories first. But if you have any stories that you want to share at the end, we do ask and we'll pull you up on stage.
Yeah, you can either get on the mic and tell your story, or we can all connect after and just tell scary stories together.
Exactly.
Fun. Yeah.
Alrighty, Taylor's going first today.
I am, and Colleen and everyone, I have something to tell you. And I'm going to cover Harold the doll.
Oh no.
I love a haunted doll.
We're going to have to make eye contact with it too. That's going to be terrifying for everybody.
Okay, I was going to put out a warning. If you're superstitious or just a little stitious, don't look at it in the eye. They say don't look him in the eye because he will lure you in.
Cool.
I accidentally made eye contact multiple times, so. But before we get into the story of Harold the doll, I want to mention that a large portion of the story is based on accounts from Anthony Quinata's book about Harold and the experiences surrounding the doll. And I'll introduce him later in the story, but basically he's a paranormal investigator. And he's the last person who acquired Harold. So let's get into it. Our story begins in 2003 when an antique collector named Greg listed Harold the doll for sale on eBay. Greg had moved to New York City in 2001 and lived on the Upper East Side with his brother, who sold antique collectibles online, including vintage dolls. Greg purchased Harold at a flea market in Webster. The doll was accompanied by a bizarre backstory that Greg included in the original listing. He went on to describe meeting an old man who claimed the doll had belonged to his son, who died as a child decades earlier. The man warned Greg that strange activity had begun after the boy's death. And sorry, Norman, you can do the next slide. Totally forgot about the projector already.
Literally, all of this was for Taylor's dream.
Are we supposed to be on 2 or 1?
1.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Harold.
Don't make eye contact.
Don't look him in the eye.
Don't look him in the eye.
Also, don't insult him.
That's
another.
I know better.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. Because when I read that, I was like, okay, come on. Anyway, so the man warned Greg there was strange activity that had begun after the boy's death. Singing and crying came from the empty bedroom. The family contacted a priest. Attempts were made to burn the doll. The doll would not fully burn, which Greg claimed explained Harold's damaged appearance.
He looks stunning to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
He knows when people are being fake, though, too.
I'm not.
The listing then shifted into Greg's own experiences after bringing Harold home. He said, 2 days later, my cat died, my girlfriend left me for the pool guy, and I began to have chronic migraines. He said he would also hear children laughing coming from his basement, and said that sometimes it would seem as if Harold had a pulse.
Ew. Sorry.
Greg ended the listing by warning buyers that the doll was sold with no returns, in capitals. No takebacks.
He's also, this whole thing is full of red flags immediately.
Alongside the auction, Greg uploaded videos that appeared to show Harold moving and speaking. The clips spread rapidly online and even gained attention from the radio show Coast to Coast.
Oh, no.
Your favorite? Just kidding.
We'll save that for after the show.
So the auction eventually climbed to $700 for this doll, although the winning bidder never paid.
Oh.
So Greg later relisted the doll. And I'm going to go a few years into the future for a minute because this is important to know before we hear the rest of the story. Greg admitted most of the story is fabricated to increase sales.
It's just marketing, okay?
He's like, someone's going to buy it. It looks
Nobody will know.
haunted. So he used fishing wire to move the doll. He used his own voice in the videos, and the haunting story was exaggerated.
Greg.
But come on, Greg. So going back before he admitted it was fake, after Greg's second eBay auction, Harold was purchased by a woman named Kathy, who later claimed she only bought the doll because she wanted to learn doll restoration. Or so she says. Because she was also part of an online paranormal research group. So
Suspicious.
very suspicious. Kathy, originally from Ireland, had traveled to New York for her aunt's wedding and planned to stay after for a cruise with her fiancé Rick and the newly married couple. When she first picked Harold up from Greg, she kept the doll locked in the trunk of her car. Things began changing after she showed Harold to her aunt, who laughed at the doll's appearance.
Guys, whoever giggled in this room.
And she dismissed the idea. She was like, it's not haunted. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
The very next day, her aunt called Kathy saying her back had gone out. Doctors later diagnosed her with a herniated disc and placed her on bed rest before the wedding. Soon after, her aunt's fiancé developed similar back problems. And eventually, Kathy's own back began hurting as well.
Harold heard ya.
He did. At the time, Kathy still didn't connect the incidents to Harold. She was just like, that's a weird coincidence, which, I mean, I've stood up and like pulled something in my back before and I didn't think it was paranormal, so I get it.
I've literally, getting up from this chair earlier, I think I pulled something. So.
Things were cracking.
Yeah.
So,
But who's to say?
I wouldn't doubt him now. By the time the wedding arrived, more problems followed. The hairdresser for the bride and bridesmaids didn't show up, the wedding cake fell apart, and the groom made his vows in a wheelchair due to his back. A week later, Kathy and Rick were supposed to leave on a cruise with the newlyweds, but Kathy's aunt called to say they could no longer attend due to bronchitis, strep throat, and shingles.
Oh my God.
Yeah, don't laugh at the doll. So, Kathy had posted in her online paranormal group that she had Harold after getting him on eBay. Someone in the group jokingly suggested she bring the doll on the cruise since they would be traveling through the Bermuda Triangle.
I'm sorry, but do you have other pictures that we're going to show at some point, or just this one?
I do.
Okay.
Are you tired of looking at him?
I'm a little uncomfortable.
Just that he's like behind you.
Yeah. And then we're just like,
With
all,
his little speech
like, I just
bubble.
feel like, yeah.
We'll get there.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But he's also in the next slide, so.
Okay.
So basically, let's see what happens if we take him through the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, okay.
So she claimed nearly all of her luggage disappeared and Harold vanished along with it. And then just 10 minutes before the cruise ended, the ship's front desk contacted Kathy to say her luggage had suddenly been found. So when Kathy and Rick returned to her aunt's house afterward, her aunt's back injuries suddenly flared up again, sending her back into the emergency room. At that point, Kathy began connecting the dots, believing the strange events only started after Harold was around. But it doesn't stop there.
Oh, no.
She's still hanging on to this doll. So before traveling to Amsterdam, Kathy's friends Veronica and John joined her and her husband for dinner. Veronica collected antiques and asked to see Harold. After seeing the doll, she laughed.
Uh-oh.
Days later, John contacted Kathy saying Veronica had fallen down a staircase while outside smoking, and she later died from head injuries. And not long after this, Kathy and Rick rented a room in their home to a man named Stephen, and Harold was in the closet of the guest room.
Oh my God.
Where Stephen was staying.
No.
He didn't even laugh at him. He didn't even know he was there.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you don't laugh when a doll just shows up in your closet.
So he began having difficulty swallowing. He was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and shortly died after. So was it Harold? I don't know. But weird coincidence. So after this, Kathy's like, you know what? I really don't need to learn doll restoration, and put him back on eBay. So she believed he was cursed, not haunted.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2004, Harold was purchased by Anthony Quinata. And you can go to the next slide. Thank you. It's kind of giving like a proud parent. Especially the second one.
It looks like the men that pose with their fish that they've captured.
It does. So Anthony was interested in investigating paranormal objects to prove that they're not actually haunted. So he believed in the paranormal, he just didn't think haunted objects were always a thing. And this posting caught his eye because he was like, this will be perfect. Kathy was convinced the doll was dangerous. Through messages exchanged on eBay, she warned him about buying Harold and told him all of the experience she had connected to Harold. After hearing all of them, Anthony was like, great, I'll take him.
Oh, no.
Love it. So between 2004 and 2005, Anthony began conducting investigations involving Harold and slowly became convinced something was attached to the doll. And he brings him everywhere. He basically tours the US. And he published books on this, and there's way too many stories on this. So I just summarized a few of the crazy ones.
Okay.
So one of the earliest incidents is with his psychic friend, April. During an EVP and psychic reading session, April became terrified and stopped the session after claiming the doll threatened her life. She said that Harold said he was going to kill her, and it sounded like a male angry voice. And
Sorry, coming from out of like a baby doll.
I know. Very terrifying. Anthony was in the same room with her, and he was skeptical. He's like, I didn't hear it. He was being kind of a dick about it.
Yeah, that sounds rude.
So April was terrified and never wanted to see this doll again. Later, while reviewing the audio, Anthony captured an EVP stating, I'm going to kill you, bitch.
Oh.
So he had a mouth.
I'm sorry. A man saying that? I'll kill you.
Tell him. Bring it back to slide 1.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Just for Colleen. So even though April was basically traumatized, Anthony was like, yes, a win. I got some evidence. So during another investigation, Anthony brings Harold to a metaphysical bookstore at a table full of women that were interested in seeing Harold. He took out a recorder and set it out on the table and then took out Harold. Immediately, the women took out crystals, and Anthony asked why they were doing it. And one of the women said, I immediately felt dark energy as soon as you took that doll out of the bag, and she got scared. So later on, Anthony reviews the audio, and what's weird is when the women take out the crystals, you start hearing a buzzing noise starting on the audio, and it goes all the way till the end. And on top of that, the same angry voice that was heard on April's audio says, stop that.
Nope.
One of the women ended up reaching out to Anthony later, saying that she got the feeling that the spirit that was in Harold felt trapped and wanted to get out, but it couldn't. Sometime after that, Anthony's sister really wanted to see a psychic. And there's a lot of psychics in this story, by the way. And so Anthony went with her and was like, well, I'm going to bring Harold since we're going to see a psychic. So they walk into the metaphysical shop, and before Anthony even takes Harold out, the woman who owned the shop was like, no, get out. Like, I feel the energy and it's dark. You need to leave. And so Anthony thought she was being rude, and his sister was like, no, she looked terrified.
Yeah.
So Anthony was just like, weird. So next up, guess where he takes Harold next? The Whaley house.
Why?
Colleen's
Why would
favorite.
you even do that?
So Colleen has been to the Whaley house and she went by herself and did a haunted tour. I was really proud of her because
Thank you.
she gets scared.
Just so you guys know, I don't like paranormals. Like, not that I don't like it. I'm terrified.
Say
of
it to Harold's face.
No, I will never. I'm just making eye contact with you this whole time. Respect, Harold. But I did it for the podcast. It was not fun.
So proud.
Thanks.
But so Anthony's thinking was that bringing him to a haunted house might bring out his spirit more and he can capture more evidence.
Mm-hmm.
So he has his recorder going the whole time and he's walking through the house. He comes across two women who are just touring the house and he has a conversation with them that lasts like 15 minutes of them just saying they're from the UK, they want to see a ghost, they're just there for fun. Like all of us. So later that evening, Anthony plays the audio back to see what Harold said. So he hits play and he can hear him and the women talking when the same loud male voice comes in and starts saying really aggressive and nasty things towards the women, which I'm not even going to repeat. Just know he doesn't like women.
Well, I want to insult him, but now I can't.
I mean, you can insult him, just not his looks.
Okay. Well, he's rude.
If you dare. He is rude.
Yeah.
So next, Anthony meets his friend Diane for lunch, who is a tarot reader, and he asks her to conduct a session with Harold. He sets out his recorder like with all of the other investigations, and she gets started. Immediately when starting, she said that she feels like there's a trapped child in the doll. Once Diane mentions the child's spirit, she feels a sharp pain on her hand. And when they look at it, it looks like a bite mark the size of the doll's mouth. When he plays the audio back, lining up with the timing of Diane asking about the child's spirit, the same male voice says, F you.
Harold!
I know.
You're like 2 years old. How do you even notice that?
Literally. So, next on his list, Anthony attempts to use your favorite, the Ouija board.
Oh, no.
He invited some friends to help him so he wouldn't do it alone. And at this point, all of his friends declined because they were like, I'm not touching it. But there was one new friend to the group, and her name was Heather. And she was like, sure, I'll do it. So they put Harold in the middle, no ritual or anything, not any form of protection done. He just hits record and he's like, let's go. They ask, is there anyone there? Yes. Are you trapped in the doll? Yes. Is your name Harold? No.
Uh-oh.
What is your name? It stops for a second and then it starts slowly writing out A, then H, and then it just stops. They play back the audio, and once they ask what the name is that they're trying to spell out, a voice, like almost annoyed, says Adam. So during this time, Heather yelps and runs to the bathroom, and there's a large scratch going down her left side. And they say Harold was on her left side.
Oh,
So poor Heather, new to the friend group. Probably not anymore, but. So, and another haunted place that Anthony brings Harold is the Stanley Hotel.
okay. This just...
I know. So with members of his paranormal investigation group. One investigator named Christy stared silently at Harold for several minutes as though entranced. Although she admitted the doll's energy disturbed her, she insisted, I'm not going to let him intimidate me.
For reference, the Stanley Hotel is based... The Shining. That's where...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a very creepy hotel. And like I said, this is just a summary of some places. He took him like everywhere.
It sounds like he's asking for it a little bit.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like his prized possession. I think he's just like...
His prized possession.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
So after that, according to Anthony, Christie's life rapidly deteriorated afterward. So coincidence? I don't know.
I don't think so.
So after taking him to tons of different haunted locations, using all of his psychic friends to contact Harold, Anthony wasn't really bothered by his friends being traumatized, and he kind of joked that he wasn't affected by Harold. So one night, Anthony wakes up during the night, and his leg just gives out and he falls. This keeps happening, and all of a sudden, one night, he hears a voice in his head that says, "I tore your meniscus."
Oh.
He goes to the doctor, and guess what he tells him? He tore his meniscus. And before this happened, Anthony had made a joke that he had a lifetime supply of holy water to keep Harold in line. And so he took that as a form of Harold punishing him for the joke. So in 2005, he put Harold in a storage unit wrapped in a blanket with a crucifix and holy water and stopped investigating him. So it took Harold harming him to lock him up. But all of his friends, he was like, get over it, it's a doll. So Harold remained locked away until 2013. That year, Anthony came across a YouTube video repeating Greg's original fabricated eBay story as factual history. This frustrated him because he knew that wasn't correct.
Right.
It was fabricated. And so he reopened his investigation and began documenting his experiences publicly through videos, blog posts, and his book. Which, by the way, he has a YouTube with all of his videos, and his blog has like all these journal entries if anyone is interested in it. So around this time, Anthony began receiving messages from people online claiming they experienced nightmares, illnesses, panic attacks, or paranormal activities simply from seeing Harold's photo. Sorry for sharing his picture, but just don't lick the eyes. So, concerned by the growing reports about Harold, Anthony's friend Colleen suggested involving... You're in the story.
Okay, well, raise your hand if you feel personally victimized by Harold.
So, Colleen suggested involving another paranormal group called Lockdown Paranormal. The team consisted of sheriffs who worked in a county jail, and Colleen believed their experience dealing with violent individuals made them well-suited to investigate Harold.
She's like okay, though, right? Colleen's fine?
Colleen is fine as far as I know.
Cool.
So you're good.
Thanks.
So investigators Randy and John met with Anthony and performed an EVP and Ovilus session, like a spirit box, involving the doll. During the investigation, the Ovilus repeatedly generated the words worry and guilt. It captured screaming and laughter. And Randy developed an intense migraine and severe back pain. So while reviewing one EVP recording later, Randy became violently ill and passed out. It took him several days to recover. Lockdown Paranormal put out a statement saying, "There is reason to believe the doll is inhabited by many spirits. Due to the evidence collected, we believe there is a negative entity that may be attached to the doll, disguising itself as many spirits." So afterward, the team refused further investigation into Harold. They said, "Case closed, take your doll, get out." I feel like for a paranormal group to be like, no.
Yeah,
that takes a lot.
Says everything.
So sometime after that, Anthony was contacted by the crew of Ghost Adventures and invited to bring Harold, not Anthony, along during an investigation at Island of the Dolls in Mexico. Have you heard of it?
Island of the Dolls? Does not sound like a place I would like to go.
You would not. Has anyone else heard of it?
Yeah.
It is very creepy. So you can go
Norman,
next.
don't raise your hand.
Next slide, please. Thank you. That is Island of the Dolls.
We had a pull the plug rule if it got too scary.
It's all the way over there. So. Kyle, don't let her pull the plug.
That's my husband, though, so whose team are you on?
Team Harold. That was Kyle.
Good impression.
Thank you. So anyway, Anthony isn't sure about it, and he takes time to think about it because he wants to make sure Ghost Adventures is respectful of haunted objects and not using him like a prop and stuff.
Like we're doing right now.
I mean, we don't have Harold. Kind of. And so a little time goes by, and Anthony has a dream that him and Harold are in a shack covered with dolls. Kind of looks like that.
Oh.
There's 3 men, but he can't make them out, and then all of a sudden they sprint away and the shack is on fire. He doesn't think much about the dream and puts it in the back of his mind. But anyway, he calls back Ghost Adventures and he's like, I'm in. Ships Harold to them. So during the episode, they introduce Harold as a guest investigator.
Okay.
They also say, don't look into his eyes, but then they put a huge picture of his face on the screen, kind of like we did. You gotta see the visual. Before the Island of the Dolls, they take Harold to a psychic in Mexico City. The psychic said there are 5 spirits inside the doll, and you should not be carrying it close to you because you and people around you will get sick. So in this episode, basically what happens, they take Harold to the island. They get some creepy laughter, which could really be any of the dolls.
What do you think? Like, what kind of like when they take them to the island? Do they take them on like U.S. Airways or
They take him on a boat.
Okay.
Like,
does he
not
get
have
his
an
own
airline?
seat?
He only flies private. There was actually a picture of him on the airplane when I think he shipped him to them.
Oh my
I
God.
should have included it. But anyway, so once they get to the Island of the Dolls, there's the shacks filled with the dolls, and a fire is ignited out of nowhere.
Oh my God.
So did Harold have a premonition? Or Anthony? Either one, I guess, at this point. I feel like they're one now.
They seem involved together.
Yeah, they seem very close. So as Anthony continued investigating Harold, his friend Larry claimed to experience a disturbing psychic vision involving the doll. Larry described a man with a severely burned face, which he felt angry energy, 2 terrified young women, and when he felt their energy, it felt scared and sad. And then additional shadowy figures hiding nearby. And he said they weren't super clear, but he thought they were like the energy of they're like hiding from this other entity. So he draws a picture. Oh, sorry, you can go to the next slide. So there's another picture of Island of the Dolls.
Nice.
And now you can go to the next one. I
Mhm.
keep forgetting about the projector.
Oh,
So that's his picture that he drew. And another artist friend
is
named
that Harold? The
Oh, the doll? Oh, no. So those are the drawings that he made of the entities inside. The ones that he could actually make out the faces.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But another artist friend named Melanie later created artwork inspired by her own impressions of Harold. And every time she tries to actually draw Harold, she can't picture his face in her mind. She keeps seeing the same 5 individuals. So she decides to draw that, and Anthony compares their artwork, and they're seeing the same entities. So what he's starting to think is this angry entity is basically holding these other spirits hostage inside Harold.
If I can guess which one is the angry one.
The Voldemort one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Medusa. I know she's
Yeah.
sad, but the hair.
I like her hair, actually. Yeah. Anyways.
So, and we're almost at the end. Anthony later received emails from a woman he referred to as Jane for privacy. Jane explained that she was doing a Google search for dolls, and Harold had come up. She was drawn to the video and started watching it, and then paused it to go do something else. Her 6-year-old son, Vincent, asked to play games on her iPad. Forgetting she had that video up, he accidentally saw the video of Harold. So, according to Jane, Vincent became deeply fixated on the doll and said, "The baby hurts, the baby is sad, and he needs help." That's sad.
That's really sad.
And later, Jane sent Anthony another email after showing Vincent additional clips involving Harold. She wrote, "Not sure if this means anything to you or not. I showed Vincent 2 of your YouTube clips. He didn't say much, but went into a trance. After about 3 minutes, he looked at me and said, You know the lady and the children are scared. That black blob won't let them go to the sunshine. So Anthony takes note of this, and at this point, it's just additional information he's collecting for evidence that we still don't really know for what. And sometime in between these messages with Jane, one of Anthony's friends, Kenneth, who teaches a Paranormal 101 class and is also a psychic medium, asks if he can use Harold for one of the classes and let the students do an investigation.
Don't do that. That's like Paranormal 201. Like,
That's very advanced. So just as he opens the bag, Kenneth immediately feels angry, aggressive energy. So they start to communicate with the doll through EVP, the students, and then Kenneth is psychically hearing the voice in his head, answering as they're asking questions, and he's writing it down. So one of the questions the student asks is, "How old are you?" And Harold responds saying, "I was old when your world was young. My story began when your time started."
Wait, I'm sorry. The doll is writing this?
No. Kenneth is writing it. That would be like wild.
I don't think we need to investigate any further.
But anyway, he's kind of a wordsmith. Like, that sounds like something from a movie.
Yeah.
They asked what kind of entity it was, and it said it was a demon that danced with the devil.
Mm.
And not like they needed the additional information to know that something evil is in the doll, but they have it now. Again. And this information kind of becomes important later. So sometime after this, he receives another message from Jane where she shows him a picture that Vincent draws in his art class, showing what they think is the 5 spirits. You can go to the next one. He draws a giant black blob and says this is the one keeping all the spirits trapped. So this eventually turns into a spiritual hijacking situation. Vincent isn't acting like himself. He's acting out in school and at home. He wakes up with nightmares. The energy just totally shifts in the house. And when Jane tries to distance herself from Anthony, like not communicating, it gets worse. It's like the spirit is using Vincent to get Harold's point across to Anthony. They also start noticing patterns that whenever they talk about the 4 other spirits that are trapped, the angrier the blob gets. And so one night, Vincent wakes up from a nightmare telling his mom that the blob was angry because it accidentally told him his name.
Oh, no.
And he doesn't want Anthony to know his name or his real name.
You don't have to tell us if you don't want to.
I actually forgot to write it down.
Okay.
So it does end up being the name of a demon, which is in the Bible and something a little kid would not know. According to the Bible lore, if that's what you want to call it, once you know the name of a demon, you have power over it. So maybe I should have wrote it down. But, and if you remember during the Ouija board session, it started spelling out a different name, but just said Adam instead. It was starting to spell out the name of the demon because it starts with an A. So crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So, to summarize, they have priests come over to do a blessing or an exorcism, whatever you want to call it. And the next day, it's like he's completely back to normal, Vincent. The last thing that Vincent ever said about Harold, while the priests were sending the demon away, its last words were, "He wants Anthony."
Oh, no.
So, it's been like 15 years of Harold at this point. It's 2017. Anthony reached out to the same priest, but they weren't able to help him. But he was able to release the trapped spirits from the doll with the help of the Brisbane Paranormal Society. And from what I read, Anthony still has Harold, and they kept the demon in the doll for safety purposes, I guess.
I was going to say, why are we
releasing that thing?
Like, keep them in there. They seem fine. Just, like, put them in a box, like a Barbie.
But just put them in there and put them back in the storage unit.
Yeah. He seemed fine there. There were no problems before.
I feel like he was trying to, like, possess Anthony at some point. And
Yeah.
I feel like he did a little bit.
A little bit, for
Like
sure.
15 years of touring.
I mean,
Like, you saw how he was holding
Anthony
him.
kind of seemed like he wanted it a little bit.
He did.
He's like-
He's a little too into it.
Yeah. Come on now.
But that is the story of Harold the doll.
That was crazy. Thanks, Tayler.
Yeah, no problem. Sleep well tonight.
Not with your dolls, though. All right, Tayler and everyone, I've got something to tell you. And like we said at the beginning, I cover the true crime portion or weird history. So tonight we are getting a little historical, but in like a super metal way.
Love that.
I am going to tell you about one of my personal favorites. I have been obsessed with this man since I can never even remember. Truly, this is an honor for me to tell you all about him. Tonight, I am going to tell you about there's eyes in mine too, but I'm forcing you to make eye contact with him. But tonight, I'm going to tell you about the holy devil, the mad monk himself. I'm going to be talking about Rasputin and the attempts to kill him. This guy would not die, and the story of Rasputin is wild. It's got everything, cult-like behavior, creepy dude, and of course what we're all here for, murder.
Yay.
Can we please pull up my first slide? Look at this man. Beautiful.
Long hair.
Who would try and hurt him? It's the eyes for me. Actually, can we take a little closer look at those peepers? Next slide. There we go. They are very important for my story, so please take them in. All right, before we talk about this looker, I want to share some of my sources. Next slide, please. First, the Book of Rasputin, Faith, Power, and the Twilight of the Romanovs. If you guys are history buffs, I highly recommend this. But History Channel's The Unexplained, Rasputin's Dark Prophecies Revealed, hosted by William Shatner. There are tons of these episodes. It's basically everything that they didn't teach you in history class.
Oh.
It's very fun. Highly recommend. And finally, my last source, and probably the most important, the source that kicked off my personal Rasputin obsession as a young girl. Next slide, please. The 1997 Disney Channel animated film Anastasia, where our guy is voiced by the great Christopher Lloyd.
You gonna play that song?
It's at the end. I said, look at that manicure, though.
Okay.
Go off.
Yeah. Damn.
Beautiful. Everybody take it in. All right. We can move to the next slide, back to our OG picture. You will be looking at him for the remainder of the story. So Rasputin, if you didn't know, will become a literal walking nightmare for the Russian monarchy and is linked as the reason for the downfall of the Romanovs, which was a Russian royal dynasty that ruled Russia for over 300 years. Anastasia's family, that's how I know it, you know? There are a lot of myths and lore around Rasputin as well as the Romanovs, but we are true crime, so we'll keep it light on the history and heavy on the darkness. So let's get to know this maniac. Grigory Rasputin was born January 10th, 1869.
I didn't know his name was Gregory.
He has a nickname. We also share a birthday, so fellow Capricorn.
I forgot that.
He was born a peasant in a small Siberian village. Not much was known about his family, but from a young age, Rasputin was very much known around the village. I said, sorry, but a child born with eyes like that, you're going to know him. He even
Sounds like you got a crush on Rasputin.
I should have. The reason never mind. I'll have to. Inside joke between me and my husband. It's not as gross as it sounds. That sounded dirtier too. Moving on to my story. He even even had a nickname, Grishka, which was Russian for Greggy.
Okay.
Which I was like, why are Russians still adding spit to something that sounds cute? Grishka?
Grishka.
Greggy? Let's just say, yeah. All right, he was reportedly very charismatic. I mean, I see it. He looks like he smells like charisma. But then there was... But then there was always something a little different about Rasputin. For example, as a child, he claimed to have magical powers, which I love that. And in one instance, in Rasputin's village, scandal broke. A horse was stolen from a local farmer, and the village gathered to address the situation. Little Rasputin appeared and immediately pointed at a man in the crowd and said, "He did it," which the man disputed it, but when they went to this man's home, they found out the horse was in this exact man's possession. And I said, now, this story is crazy because of two things. Either Rasputin, as a child, stole a horse and set up an adult man for horse thievery, or he, with truly zero hesitation, identified a thief through sheer intuition. Either way.
Both pretty impressive.
Impressive, exactly. After that, Rasputin becomes sort of a local legend amongst the village. There were reported stories of him healing sick animals just by touch. He continued to help identify thieves just by pointing at people. And this is the biggest thing, he was known for predicting the future. His eyes would stop blinking and he'd get these visions of the future that people claimed would actually come true. Next slide, please.
I love that.
All right, so obviously this man was not known as the Mad Monk or the Holy Devil for being about horse justice or visions. As Rasputin grows into his teenage years and early 20s, he starts drinking heavily, starts getting into bar fights, somehow starts sleeping with a shocking number of women, especially for a man who looks like he belongs in a cursed forest. But so basically, he is now transformed from small-town psychic healer and horse detective into full-blown chaotic menace. Actually, we can go to, unless you guys appreciate this, we can keep this up for the rest. So despite all of this, though, people were still drawn to him because Rasputin had this really strange effect on people, and everyone always said it came from the eyes. So it was either they felt very deeply drawn to him or comforted by him or just simply hypnotized by him. They just said, like, he just had something about him. I was so close to photoshopping his face onto Something About Mary poster. But I was like, it's enough shtick at this point. But that is something very important to know because that he was somehow very likable and endearing, whatever you want to call it. This was a bad guy, but he had a quality that could make people believe and follow him. That is not a good combination. So now, in his late 20s, and this is where the monk lore begins, Rasputin decides he's going to go to a monastery, as one drunken Russian does. And once he goes to the monastery, he becomes obsessed with religion. And when I say obsessed, he is obsessed with it. I said a man with those eyes doesn't just half-ass anything. So he basically turns into this wandering holy man. He decides he's going to go on a pilgrimage across Russia, and Russia is huge. So he is walking hundreds of miles, and he does this for years just to spread the word of whatever he believes in.
Dang.
During this time, he visits monasteries, he starts connecting with other priests and mystics, and then also kind of gathering a following. So on this pilgrimage, he also starts going to all these different towns as well, and everywhere he goes, people are fascinated by him, truly believing he's some sort of holy man. But again, I cannot emphasize this enough. This was a bad man. During this pilgrimage, not only was he still drinking, causing fights, and sleeping around, Rasputin was following a fringe religious belief called the Heelsti. And the Heelsti was considered extremely controversial. The Heelsti belief system was essentially that in order to understand sin, you must first commit it.
Whoa.
Yes. And once you understand sin completely, it brings you closer to God. Rasputin was love this for me. So he is traveling all across the country, absolute wreaking havoc and moving on. Now, Russia is huge, so that's a lot of country to wreak havoc on. But despite all the chaos surrounding him, Rasputin's legend just keeps growing because everywhere he goes, people become obsessed with him. Some believed he could heal people. Some believed he could predict the future. Some believed he was chosen by God, or on the other side, possibly chosen by the devil. Either way, chosen. But eventually the stories about this wild-eyed mystical peasant begin spreading far beyond tiny villages and landed in the ears of the wealthy aristocrats and elites of Russia's capital, St. Petersburg. Once the rumors hit St. Petersburg, Rasputin was basically a rock star. So in 1903, he saunters up to the doors of the Russian leaders at the time, the Romanovs, and he is immediately introduced to the heads of the family, Tsar Nicholas and his wife, Alexandra. Now, Tsar Nicholas and Alexandra had heard of Rasputin and his ability to heal or perform miracles, and they were in desperate need of a miracle. Their son and heir to the throne, Alexei, suffered from hemophilia, and hemophilia is a disorder where the blood doesn't clot properly, so Alexei could literally bleed to death if cut. Rasputin just grabs a blade out of his back pocket. Sorry.
He's like, this can go one of two ways.
Let me in. Or today, hemophilia is totally treatable, but again, it's early 1900s Russia. It is very deadly. So anytime Alexei would even have the tiniest bit of danger around him, the family would spiral because he was their living heir and the future of the Russian monarchy. Now, Alexandra, Alexei's mom, was especially distraught about his condition. She was desperate for anything that would protect her son. OG helicopter mom.
Mm-hmm.
So when this healing legend, Rasputin, arrives, she is thrilled. Historians kind of debate exactly what happened here. Like you said, it could have been like this could have gone one of two ways, but what we're going to go with this story is that Alexei got hurt to the point. Sorry, it's not funny. This is a child. Alexei got hurt to the point where his condition, he would not have made it. Rasputin was brought in and healed the boy. And this was a miracle to the Romanov family. Mm-hmm. This miracle placed Rasputin into the Romanov family's inner circle. Actually, we can change the slide. Sorry, thank you. Look at that guy. This miracle placed Rasputin to the Romanov family's inner circle. Alexandra truly believed Rasputin had been placed on Earth by God.
Yeah, it's malfunctioning.
He's in the room with us. Okay, so Alexandra truly believed Rasputin had been placed on Earth by God, and eventually Nicholas places Rasputin as one of his most trusted advisors. Horrible decision for everybody involved. Because now we have a man known for his drinking, chaotic behavior, and cult-like control over others, literally helping run the country.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Rasputin, now in a position of total power, just chills out. Just kidding. He goes completely bonkers with control and zero consequences. He is out publicly drinking. He starts sleeping his way through the town, as well as the aristocratic leaders, both women and men. Love that for him. And rumors start spreading that he is actually having an affair with Alexandra, which highly debated if it's actually true, but it's out there, so the damage is done.
Mm-hmm.
We are not slut-shaming Rasputin, but he is not making friends with all of his escapades. But he's out there bragging about his control over the Romanov family, and he's surrounded by followers who just think he's like the coolest guy alive. Now, this Rasputin rampage is happening during a time where Russia is extremely politically unstable. The Romanovs have lost the trust of the country, there is talk of an uprising and potentially war, and Rasputin is not helping the situation. If anything, he actually loves the chaos and is thriving in it. And the craziest part is that he knows people hate him.
Does that fuel him more?
And he's like, you hate this? I'll
do
bet
some
you'll
more.
hate this.
I can top that.
Yeah. He also genuinely believes he is untouchable. After all, the royal family sees him as chosen by God, so what's anybody going to do about it?
What are you going to do about it?
I'll tell you what they're going to do about it. This is where we're going to go into the attempted assassinations and final murder of Rasputin. First up is a woman named Kionia Gusteva. So basically, they've all had enough of this. They're just like, this guy's got to go. So first up to bat to take this guy out is a woman named Kionia Gusteva. She was a former devout monk and follower of a rival extremist religion. So it's like turf wars now.
Okay.
And she believed that Rasputin was actually the Antichrist. She had no nose. Just a fact historians like to throw in there, seemed important.
Wait, she had no nose?
No nose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not going to show a picture.
That's what I want to see. I'm just kidding.
But so in 1914, Rasputin goes back to his home village for a visit, and Kionia is waiting for him. She's sniffing him out. Just kidding.
Doesn't Voldemort not have a nose either?
I'm so sorry, guys. I heard that sigh. It's bad jokes, I know. She is, yes, she does. Voldemort no longer has a nose either.
Okay, I was just wondering.
But she is masked in a black veil over her face and disguised as a beggar on the street outside of Rasputin's home. When Rasputin gets home, she begs him for help. When he gets close enough, she pulls a knife out and she stabs him in the stomach. She stabs him so deep that his insides were coming out.
Ooh.
It is reported that Rasputin ran with his insides outside of him, with this veiled woman now chasing him down the street, yielding knife, screaming, "I have killed the Antichrist." I told you this would get metal. However, those other pesky Rasputin followers step in and stop the attack. She is taken to jail. Rasputin, by all accounts and 1900s Russian health standards, should have died from this attack. However, he survives. And if anything, it only makes him look stronger because he's now got a sick-ass scar, and people think you cannot kill him. Also, after this attack, Rasputin decides he's going to add a little extra level of fear to the Romanov family for his own protection. He tells Alexandra that he had a vision, and that if someone of noble descent were to kill him, the entire Romanov family would fall. So he's basically saying, like, you guys got to protect me.
Yikes.
And she's like, cool, yeah, we got you. Yeah, that vision didn't really get communicated to everybody because next up to take a swing at the assassination is Prince Felix Yusupov, definitely of noble descent. So Yusupov and other political leaders have had absolutely enough of the control that Rasputin has on the Romanovs and believe that he is a true threat to the entire Russian Empire. On a personal note, though, Yusupov also really didn't like Rasputin, so I feel like take out all of the politics. He's just like, this guy sucks. Let's
get rid
kill
of him.
Yeah. Yusupov gathers an all-star team of Grand Duke Dmitry Pavlovich and several other nobles, and they devise a plan. Yusupov is going to invite Rasputin, a man who loves to drink and be spoiled, over for drinks and treats, and then poison him. The other men will be hiding in Yusupov's home to help dispose of the body after Rasputin is dead. So on the evening of December 30th, 1916, so 2 years after the stabbing, which I'm so sorry, sir, but it's another joke. I was like, Rasputin probably never shut up about that stabbing. He was like, who wants to see the scar?
I'm invincible.
Probably only fueled the assassination.
Yeah.
Anyways, December 30th, 1916, it is in the middle of a freezing Russian winter. Rasputin accepts Yusupov's invitation. Yusupov cooks up several small cake treats, all laced with cyanide. He then warms up tea, laced with cyanide, and opens a bottle of wine, laced with cyanide. When Rasputin arrives, they sit at the table and Rasputin begins to eat the poisoned pastries. He accepts a cup of cyanide tea to warm himself up. Nothing happens. Yusupov sits waiting for the poison to take effect, but when it's clearly not affecting Rasputin, he brings in the thing he knows Rasputin will devour, the wine. Rasputin drinks 3 glasses of cyanide wine after having gorged himself on poison tea and treats, and yet is still somehow functioning.
That is terrifying. I feel like they'd start sweating at that point. They're like, oh my God.
It's gonna get so much worse.
I'll follow him too.
So the other guys who are part of this plan are hiding back in Yusupov's kitchen. He goes back and is like, guys, it's not working. So they all huddle and decide, well, why don't we shoot him? And Yusupov goes, love it. Why didn't we just do that at the beginning? I've been sweating over
Don't be fancy about it. Just shoot him.
I've been sweating over a hot stove for hours. Like, we could have just started
a whole
with
cyanide dish.
So he grabs a revolver, walks back into the room that Rasputin is sitting in, walks up behind him, shoots him in the back, but directly through his chest.
Uh-huh.
Rasputin slumps over and falls to the ground. This is where it turns into a nightmare. From the ground, Rasputin slowly stands back up and turns around to face Yusupov, bullet hole through the chest.
Oh my God.
So I love this guy so much. Sorry.
Kyle, you got competition.
But just imagine those eyes, like so pissed. I love it. Terrifying.
Bullet hole through the chest and everything.
I love it. You guys willingly came to this. So Rasputin is still alive after being poisoned and shot. Rasputin then lunges at Yusupov, who runs out of the house and into the courtyard of the house, into freezing snow. Finally, Rasputin catches up to him near the gate of his home, where Yusupov shoots Rasputin again. Rasputin takes a final fall into a snowbank near the gate of Yusupov's home. He's finally dead. Yusupov runs back to his house to get the rest of the group. They grab a rug that they are going to roll Rasputin's body into and then throw him into the freezing Russian waters. When they get to the courtyard, they are horrified. Rasputin is clawing and crawling his way up through the yard towards them.
Oh my God. Towards them, too.
They rush towards him and begin beating him. I imagine they're just like, stop living.
Panic mode at this point.
But finally, Yusupov pulls the revolver one more time and shoots Rasputin in the head. They kick him a few more times just to make sure he's not going to wake up again. They roll him in the rug, take his body to a frozen lake, drop it through a hole in the frozen water, and they have finally, I promise, they have finally killed Rasputin. However, the creepy doesn't stop there. When Rasputin's dead body was later discovered in the water, his arms were frozen upwards we saw his nails earlier. This man manicures. He had scratch marks on his fingernails as if he'd been trying to claw his way out from under the ice.
That's crazy.
This immediately led to the horrifying rumor that Rasputin had still been alive when they threw him into the river. Now, what about that threat he made to the Romanovs? Because remember, if someone of noble descent killed Rasputin, the entire family would fall. Well, less than 2 years later, the entire Romanov dynasty collapsed in a political uprising. Russia fell into a violent revolution that led to the execution of Nicholas, Alexandra, Alexei, and the whole Romanov family, which led many to wonder, was this Rasputin's vision coming true? Now, I'll say many have studied Rasputin, and there are so many stories about him, yet so many things we still don't know. All I know is 3 things. He's creepy as hell. He is a fascinating historical story. Next slide, please. And his song, In the Dark of the Night, from the 1997 Disney animated movie Anastasia, goes fucking hard. Sorry, I guess we don't have sound, but it lives on my top played music. I highly recommend you guys give it a listen. But
I think it's muted.
Can you hit unmute?
Never mind. Just imagine, you all know the song.
And yeah, that's the story of Rasputin.
Yay, that was good. I love that. I did not know, I feel like I didn't know the story of Rasputin.
I love that.
Now I do. And I know that you are in love with him now.
I honestly feel like I shouldn't have been allowed to watch Anastasia. I feel like everybody else, what got you into true crime? This might have been it. I was 6 years old.
Those eyes got me into true crime.
But anyways, thanks everybody for coming.
I know, thank you. Thank you. If anyone wants to get up here and tell a story, you are more than welcome to. We usually don't get any takers, so it's okay. I get it. But we'll be cleaning up and everything, so you guys are welcome to stay and tell stories amongst each other. I think Jared's is open for a while. So.
And also, if you guys like us, we are on all of the streaming services, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, everything. Follow us. Yeah. I've got something to tell you. We'd appreciate a rate, review, and subscribe if you can. Or if you don't want to tell us a story tonight, you can email us at igsttystories@gmail.com or DM us on any one of our platforms.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.